Hello, my name is Marcelo Gonçalves Gameiro. Today I'm going to make a video about people skills. And the topic of this video is to trust is a good foundation for any good relationship. So since I came here in China, I came here as a university teacher and right now I'm teaching how to teach math. But before I taught professional and personal development. And one of the things or subject that I touched in that discipline was about people skills, how to be more confident, right? So I want to share a few things about this because I came here all the way from Brazil to China. I came here alone. So I wanted to make the most of my experience here. And that means to make friends, right? You have to reach out for people, right? So from coming from a background that I'm a shy person, believe you or not, my students don't believe that I was shy because they don't see me as shy. But because I work on myself and develop my social skills, right? I don't even feel shy to talk to strangers. All the time I want to have lunch in the cafeteria, I don't sit alone because I'm always asking a group of students, can I sit here? So I end up talking, making friends. But besides the technique of making friends, because there are some techniques, right? If you work yourself, be appear more confident, so you're gonna make more friends, right? But besides the technique, I want to talk about values. These are more important than techniques, right? So let me share some of my experiences because when I came here, I tried to make friends every way. I talked to strangers, I talked to students in the cafeterias, I used the internet in many ways that I could imagine, tried to reach out for people, right? But I do have my values that I don't give up on my values. So let me talk about those. Here was a girl that I was talking to in WeChat. WeChat is the social media here in China. So she was bragging about herself, like my company makes 3,100 a year, and my investment generates 200 a year. And she said that she spent more than 200 by traveling, right? How do you feel when you talk to someone who is that much better than you? At least makes so much more money than you at a much younger age than you are. So here was my answer here talking about that I'm a teacher here and I came here as a teacher and uh, let me read my answer here. I love to teach and I to eat with my students. I have been to theater here to watch Chinese opera even though I did not understand anything. Ha ha ha. So I was telling her my situation. So I don't make as much as money as she was doing, right? But I don't feel like I'm a lower position than her. I don't feel any inferior to her. Let me tell you why. People used to measure themselves as in monetary value. But when you have a better perspective, you will notice that money is just a tool to make life easier, but has nothing to do with your real value. So think about it. How one does choose their friends, or girlfriend, or boyfriend, or even a spouse. Is your relationship based on interest or values? So let's go another slide here that I want to share something. Now that we have established a difference between relationship, uh, uh, now that we have established a difference here, which relationship do you think is more meaningful? The one based on interest or the one based on values? So what are the values and what are the areas that you can have values in your life? So here's some of the ideas, right? Values or areas you can choose to have high standards values. Like for example, honesty is one value, integrity, language, don't use foul language, vulgar language, right? Friendship, service, education, agency and accountability. So you take a responsibility for your actions. Entertainment and media. So like a good and healthy entertainment. Dress and appearance, physical and emotional health, dating, sexual purity, work, and self reliance. These are all the areas that you can have standards in your life and have a good and high standards. So let's go back. Well, I'm gonna go back to the conversation with her, but before I still want to share some of my own values, right? This is my own values. You can adopt any of those, but this is the ones that I use when I'm making friends here in the internet or everywhere else, right? So my own rules to make friends online. These are my values. I always be nice to everyone, even everyone deserves to be respected. The second one, I emphasize this one because I'm gonna share experience with this one here. Always say the truth. Not necessarily means you have to disclose all the information about you. So I don't lie about things for other people. Even sometimes I don't disclose information. I say, well, I'm not share this with you, but I don't lie it. I don't say things that are not true, right? Be polite, not rude. Be elegant, not vulgar, even in your language. So no appropriate behavior or topics like sex talks, discrimination, pornography, nude pics, send or receive money, right? Or etc. Be honest and polite even when you say no or deny someone's request. So and etc. This is for you to have a big picture on the idea, right? Are the kind of standards that I follow when I try to reach for new friends, even online. So let's go back to the talk that I was having with that girl. At this point of the conversation, I had reason to make this statement because she was kind of she told me before, right, that she was making 3,100, but the way she was talking now, I couldn't see there's something is wrong. So I make this statement here. She was talking to me like this. I have a lot of business. I often introduce business to my friend's company. And then she replied this because this was my statement. I told her that I didn't believe, right? Are you sure you're making 300 a year like this? And then she replied to me, no, it's not a profitable business, but my job is interesting, not profitable. So she probably did not remember that she told me that she was making 3,100, right? So I got her in a contradiction. So it was a lie, right? So when you tell the lie, later on you might forget what you tell the other person, and then you might end up getting to in the contradiction of the things that you said earlier. This is why I don't tell the lie. I don't have any profit by telling the lie, right? If I don't want to say something, I just say, well, I'm not going to share that information with you. So we are online, we did not even match, right? I know you understand me. So a lot of people are scared of being scammed in the internet. So they don't feel bad when you say that you want to just protect that information. But I don't lie. And I found that she was lying to me, and I find out. So I told her that you said to me that before that you make such and such. So I caught her in a lie. And then I said here, I'm just saying that I have doubts of the things that you said to me for the contradictions on the things I did find out. Did you see my point? And she said, yes, I see, right? And then I'll tell her, I was willing to meet you when you come back from Japan. Now I'm not so sure. Think about how much do you want to meet someone that is trying to deceive you, right? What kind of friendship would be this one? Or do you want a relationship with somebody that is not honest with you? I understand if she doesn't want to say stuff to me. I don't want her to say ever disclose my information to everyone, but I don't lie. Lie is not a good thing. And here is again. So she said, you are a very shrewd person when I got her in a lie. So no one can fool you. But just because she did try to fool me or trick me, that's not a reason for me to be rude or arrogant. So here's my answer. I'm not perfect at all. I might just have more experience, but I have been fooled before. I'm not. So here I'm saying that I'm a normal person. So I'm not better than you. So I'm just have more experience. So I'm not being arrogant, right? So there's no reason to be vulgar anyway, even when the other persons try to trick you, right? So let me talk about some paradigms here. So paradigms, this is one of the paradigms of interdependence. And this kind of text that I'm going to share with you comes from this book here, Seven Habits of Highly Effective People from Stephen R. Covey. It's a very good book. If you want to read some good literature, I recommend it, highly recommended this book. So in this book, we see this writing here. We should remember that effective interdependence can only be built on a foundation of true independence. So private victory precedes public victory. Algebra comes before calculus. So what I'm trying to say here, you can master the techniques of being a good, try to make good relationships, like being a good posture, good tonality of your voice. You can train those things, right? So you can have a more success with other people, like social success, right? But none of this will substitute or be a good substitute for your core values. Because if you people catch you on a lie, you are not an honest person, even though if you have a good talk, good techniques, it's not gonna sound good anyway. So people trust people that are honest, not people who talk good, have a good ability with other people, like social abilities, right? So let me share a few more things from this book. So in this book, the author was sharing one of his experiences. He was having a seminar, and then after the seminar, this man came to talk to him. So the man was complaining about his wife. She was very suspicious of him all the time. He did look pretty miserable, and we talked for a while, and then he made a very interesting comment. I guess she knows all the questions to ask. He said a little sheepishly. It was in a seminar like this that I met her when I was married to someone else. As you can see here, that he was setting up the situation long before, right? She made up marrying this beautiful girl or whatever that he was thinking of, but he was married to another person. So what the message he was sending to his future wife? He's a man that does not deserve to be trusted, right? Now she was the one who was not trusting him because he knew what he was capable of doing, right? While he was married. So we are dealing with a very dramatic and very fundamental paradigm shift here. You may try to lubricate your social interaction with personal techniques and skills, but in the process, you may truncate the vital character base. You can have the fruits without the roots. So values are the roots, right? So things that people can see like a good technique, you talk well, you have a social ability very high, but you're not a trusted person, so it's not makes sense, right? It does not have any good use for it. So you can have the fruits without the roots. Unless we are willing to achieve real independence, it is foolish to try to develop human relationship skills. We might try, like having a good training, have a good techniques, a good talk, right? We might even have some degree of success when sun is shining. But when difficult comes, but when the difficult time comes, and they will come, we won't have the foundation to keep things together. So every good relationship is based on the foundation of true honesty. So you can be a very good talk, you can be a very nice person, you can have a good posture, you can really learn how to listen to a person. But if they cannot trust in you, so when the difficult comes, everything is gonna fall down. So you are going to reap what you sow. It is inevitable. The man set him up by seducing his future wife while he was still married. What do you think What do you think he was conveying to his future prospect by acting like that? So he sent her the message that he should not be trusted because she was deceiving his wife while talking to her. So one of the most important ways to manifest integrity is to be loyal to those who are not present. In doing so, we build the trust of those who are present. When you defend those who are absent, you retain the trust of those present. Let's think about you're talking to your friend and you're talking about somebody else. You're talking bad to somebody else. What your friend's gonna think of you? That you might be talking about her or him while you're not with her or him. So if you talk about bad about people, so they're gonna be thinking that you may be talking about bad about them when they're not with you, right? But when you're acting accordingly with integrity or your own value, not talking bad about people. So if somebody starts to talking to you about a book, you say, I'm not going to talk about this person on behind their back. So we're kind of enforcing that you're a trustworthy person because you're acting with integrity of your values. I hope that example stick to your mind because I'm gonna refer back to this one, okay? So let me share a situation when you may be tempted to lie. So once I was talking to a girl in the social media here in China, and she said to me, "You are writing this to all the girls here, don't you?" And that was exactly what I was doing. In fact, even worse, the fact that I was did have this file called answers, and I was copying and pasting many of my response in the beginning of my chats. So you don't want to disclose that information, right? So you make this girl feel not she's not special, right? Because you have the answer already written down. Even though I could lie and said, no, 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 this was my answer. I decided that the truth is always better. So here's what I answered to her. So as you can see here, I have this file with a lot of my answers already written down here. So I know, of course, I don't go away telling all everybody that I have those answers already written down, right? But in this case, she was asking me, so I have the opportunity to lie and say, no, 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 this was coming from me, or maybe admit the truth and say, well, I'm copying and pasted that answer. Sometimes when you're using Messenger, when you're typing something here, it seems the other person that you're typing. Sometimes I wait a little bit, type ASDFG, so the other person that seems them trying to type something, right? Because I don't want them to see a long answer, just giving them right away. So they will know that I can copy and pasting, right? Sometimes I use that, take a little longer to answer. But in this case, she was asking. So instead of lying to her, I decided to tell the truth because it's acting according to my high standards, right? It's always better to say the truth than lie. So I don't want to, for example, my actions comes back from the past and bite me like the man, right? She was deceiving his wife, trying to find a new one while he was still married. This is why I wanted to remember the last example because I didn't want that to happen to me. So here it is my answer. So I chose to admit the truth. I really don't want it to my lies to come back and bite me back, right? So here's my answer. Yes, I did copy and paste that answer, but that situation comes up several times in my interactions. So I have the answer written down. So I don't have to write again every time I was asked. But that was my true answer and it was written by me. So I admit that I did copy and paste because when I make friends, so this is what one of the questions that comes up very often. So instead of writing all the time that same answer, I written down in some place else that I can copy and paste. So I would think it was much better to give this kind of answer than lie to her. Okay, here is another one. So when I once another girl asked me such a thing like this, "Are you talking to other girls?" So when you wanted to give her the impression that she was special and don't want her to disclose you are making more friends, but I still think the truth is much better. So here's was my answer for that girl. So I also my answer comes from my file, right? From my file called answer doc. So it was already written answer, but I chose to tell her the truth. So was my answer. I rather have a girl with 1,000 friends that choose me than someone who has only one option. And to have many friends is always a good thing. So I did not even met her. So she's not my girlfriend. So why do I have to say that I'm not having trying to make more friends, right? That does not make sense. If I say that, she might even not believe in me because she knows many people talk to several people at once, right? Making a lot of friends. So why not be true to myself and give her an honest answer, right? If she was a decent girl, she will understand that I'm not doing anything wrong by just having more friends. Just as I'm talking to her. Unless she was my girlfriend, then it would be really bad that I was still looking for more girls, right? But it was not the case. I'm just making friends, right? So I decide to tell the truth all the time. So let me share a little bit of my other experiences here online. So I was talking to this girl and I was asking her, I sent her my picture, right? And I asked her her picture. And is that okay that I ask a picture of you too? So she didn't have a picture in her profile, and I always wanted to put a face on the people I was talking to. So I never asked something that I was not willing to do first. This is why I sent a lot of pictures before. This is not the only one. And then I asked her a picture, and she asked me, "Why do you need my picture?" And I told her no profile picture, and otherwise I want to put a face. So here is my answer. I don't need your picture. So she asked me, why do I need her picture? I don't need your picture for anything. I was just wanted to see you. I am open to you. You can ask me anything you want. Do a video call to see if I'm the one talking to you, not a fake person, right? They're chatting to you. I would be okay with all those things if you want. I thought we are here to at least get to know each other a little bit better. So I'm not asking her nude pictures, right? I'm just asking her a picture because I don't see any. I just want to put a face. So this was an honest answer, very polite, so very reasonable, right? I already sent my picture to her, so I see no problem in asking such a questions. But then she said something for me like this: "I will dance for you and you're gonna masturbate for me." This is a very indecent proposal. Very, I'm not into those things. So then was my answer. If you're going to start with this kind of talk, I will have to dump you. And she was one step away from me to dump her. And I have to tell you, I dumped a lot of girls because this is out of my way of talking, right? I share my values with you, right? Be honest, polite, not sex talks, not nude pics. I'm not into those things. So I am acting with integrity with my own values here. So, and she said, I don't believe you are a good man. So she was kind of attacking me, right? That's no reason for me to be rude with her, but I was very firm. So here it is my answer. I'm not into those sex talks or nude pictures. I'm here trying to make good friendships to start. And if you don't believe that, if you don't believe me, right? If you don't believe that is your problem. I'm just not tolerate such a kind of relationship. And then one very interesting happened. She's kind of changed. She was doing that to test me. So there's a lot of bad men, bad people who are into those kind of things, right? She was kind of putting a trap to see if I fall into those traps. But I didn't. I was really one step away to dump her. But I ended up having a good talk with her. She actually admits that she was trying to test me. And I'm still talking to her. So she stopped those kind of bad talking and bad behavior. She was kind of only testing me. But here it is my reasoning. I would not be wasting my time with girls like the one from this last slide. So this is kind of a scarcity mind, right? She's the only one who's giving me attention, so I don't want to dump her. But I can tell you, here I am in China, where there is 40 million more men than women. And I don't have any problem to find nice and decent girls to talk to be friends with. So this is also a very good book. If you want to read it, I kind of recommend it. So please don't have a scarcity mind. So I was dumped many girls before. I only keep the good ones. So the ones that can have a nice friendship, nice talk, decent talk, no bad talks, no sex talks, no nude pictures. I don't want to, I'm not into those things. I have my own high standards. And I want to have girls that have also high standards. So there's no reason for me to waste my time with those kind of people. Okay, here is the website that I put some of my courses here. So if you want to search my name in the Udemy platform. So since I came here in China as a teacher, so I'm starting to put some courses online because it's helping me to be a better teacher. When I'm preparing material and recording, I find a lot of mistakes. And also my people skills tips I'm putting in another course. This is one of my first course. So I'm enjoying a lot. So this is another thing that I never did before. I just kind of feel a little bit awkward recording a video, but as you can see now, I'm becoming, if not good, at least I become more relaxed recording videos. So everything that you keep doing it, you become better. Not because the things that you're doing become easier, but your capacity of doing those things increase. So hopefully I'm becoming a better teacher because I'm trying new things like this, even the teaching online. But I want to share one more thing before I finish this video, and this would be, let me show you. Okay, let me show you what I want to share with you. So I want to offer you this candy here. Can you see a candy? So it's a candy. It's a chocolate candy, right? I could grab this candy very firmly. I can embrace this candy. But if I offer you the candy like this, I think you would accept it, right? It's very rapid with the paper here. So let's try this candy here. It's actually very good. If I still wanted to give you a candy, if I still wanted to give you a candy, you are still gonna accept this one here after I put it in my mouth? Would you eat it? I don't think so, right? So I learned this very early in my when I was a kid. This is where the standards come from. I don't mind to date a girl that has many friends, that has many boyfriends before, right? But I kind of don't want to date someone that has slept with anyone. That every time she meet a boy, she sleep with him. This is not the kind of girl I'm looking for because I have high standards, right? The same thing with this candy. So if she goes with every boy, have many boyfriends, but she was keeping her standards like this, is okay. But if she has no standards like this, I don't want her. So why am I sharing this with you? No one wants to marry a girl who slept with everybody, right? I'm not ashamed to put up my standards here. I'm a man who believes only in sex after marriage, right? So if I want a person like this, I should be acting like this. So I hope this video was somewhat inspiring to you. So the real things that people are looking for are not techniques like a good talker, like somebody who has a good posture, if they don't have values, right? We should be measured by our values. So people can have good impressions of you, but as soon as they find that you're not trustworthy, you're gonna lose their trust. Maybe not want to be friends with you anymore if you're not trustable person. So I hope this videos kind of inspire you to be a better person. So I'm having a lot of good time here in China being a teacher. And I believe the teacher is not only the job of a teacher is not only to give knowledge, but also to inspire the students to become a better person, to fulfill their destiny, to become whatever they can become, good persons in the society. So I hope you like this video. Maybe put some likes there, as everybody asked, right? So I not really care too much about this, but if you like it, so you may be looking for some of my videos. But I hope this was one that is gonna inspire you to be a better person and to have values in your life, to be a trusted person. And okay, maybe I'll see you in another one. Bye bye.